Showbiz review here on Daybreak Hitz on Hits 103.9. And this morning, we are giving out 1,000 Ghana cities. So star 281 hash, star 281 hash, start playing. If you want to win your fair share of the 1,000 Ghana cities that's up for grabs this morning, just start playing. Cash Kesiena. 1,000 Ghana cities is up for grabs. We are splitting it into two, so 500 Ghana cities each. So start playing star 281 hash, and then you are good to go. Showbiz Review is proudly brought to you by Betway. You always get way more with Betway. And if you believe that Akosombo Dam is big, Betway's cash out feature lets you cash out on your bet early, cash out of a portion of your ongoing bet, or even set your bet to cash out automatically. All this is to give you more control over your thrilling bet that you play. So sign up today on www.betway.com.gh. Terms and conditions apply. We are regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. No under 18. Betway, get way more. And this morning, I'm here to tell you to let go of that overpriced piece of land. Yes, that home ownership and furnishing deals. Get the best deal for all your housing needs in one place. Visit EcoBank Joy News Mini Fair at Good Park near Accra Mall from the 30th of August to the 1st of September. The fair is open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. daily, and admission is free. So be there to engage with various stakeholders in the housing value chain for your home ownership needs. EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair is in partnership with EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank, empowered by the Planned City Extensions Project from Cities and Habitat. Rent to own, sponsored by Elegant Homes, and also G&J Technical Services, DevTraco Woodlands, DPS Pipes, Home World Lighting Supplies, Global Lighting, Superlock, Everlast UPVC Windows and Doors, Syntex Tanks, Lesh Furniture, Lesh Fortune Limited. I'll say curtains, be luxuriously perfect. DBS Roofing Industries, your roof experts, virtual security, Uban Security Doors, Clifton Homes, EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair. Get a house and make it at home. Starting on the 30th to the 1st of September 2024. Going straight into our morning discussion, I have my brother, Mr. Adam Chotome. Adam, everything cool?
Oh, Chairman.
Yes, you know, show up, eh?
Yeah. Some assignment.
There's no assignment. Well, assignment, babe.
Oh, it was some assignment. I mean, it's even out in the news today in most of the dailies, and it was on JTV. Yeah, NTC outdoor its new board and, moderating duties.
Hey! Mr. Chotome.
Chairman.
Adam is everywhere.
Chairman.
Anyway, this morning, welcome. And in our Showbiz Review, we're having a discussion on tourism. I don't know if you've heard about decentralization of tourism, arts and culture activities. If you've heard about it from the NDC's parliamentary candidate for Tema Central constituency, Ebi Bright. You hear about them?
Yeah, I've heard about it. And I mean...
Relax. We're about to get into it.
Okay.
She was on Joy FM's Showbiz A to Z, and this is one of the ways she believed that it's one of the ways of helping develop the culture and creative industries. She said, one of the things I find most challenging is there is a lack of decentralization when we talk about culture, arts, and tourism. The emphasis and all the attention appears to be on Accra city centers. Even when it comes to festivals, I think we are obsessed with a couple of them, but Ghana benefits a lot from exploring its diversity, and there are a lot of issues that we are failing to communicate properly in terms of positioning. Yes, we are not expressing a solid national brand, she noted. Now, Ebi also suggested that tourism activities be spread throughout the year and also make a deliberate effort to incorporate all the elements of arts and culture in our event. Now, let's listen to her as she appeared on Joy FM's Showbiz A to Z with Kwame Dazi.
One of the things I find most challenging is that there's a lack of decentralization when we talk about culture, arts, tourism. The emphasis, and all the attention appears to be on Accra, the city centers. Even in terms of festivals, I think that we're obsessed with a couple of them. But Ghana could benefit a lot from exploring its diversity.
Great.
There are a lot of issues that we're failing to communicate properly in terms of our positioning. We're not expressing a solid national brand. I think that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama had already let something out of a bag about us adopting the Black Star experience as our flagship expression of Ghanaian identity. There are also many low-hanging fruits. But also another thing that worries us is the concentration of all our activity and revenue on specific times of the year.
Right.
Tourism needs to be a lifestyle. It needs to be responsive to the Ghanaian almost as much as it needs to be responsive to visitors. Because if the average Ghanaian cannot enjoy the pleasures that the country has to offer in terms of its tourism, then I don't think that we can advocate properly, to get other people interested. And I think that the way that we engage the space right now leaves out a lot of its components, like the food, the fashion, the human resource, the language, and so many aspects. And I think that we should challenge them to move beyond the December influx, and I think that that's a bit too much of external packaging. And the staging, it needs to be more authentic.
Showbiz A to Z on Joy with my brother Kwame Dazi. I think Saturdays is it 2 to 6, right? Showbiz A to Z is 2 to 6, right? Saturdays with Kwame Dazi. We're expecting him to join us very soon, but we're having a diverse conversation on this. I think you mentioned a couple of months ago or some weeks ago about decentralization of the activities with respect to our celebration. That is the year of return and all that. But anyway, once the horse is here, let's hear from the horse's own mouth. With that being said, you are not a horse.
Yeah, for me, I mean, if you want to talk about tourism, you know that tourism has some serious economic value, same as culture and the arts. So if any nation, because today we are talking about high unemployment rate, and if you listen to most of the manifestos of the parties, they are talking about a way to create employment for the unemployed youth. And I mean, tourism is one of the areas to create a lot of jobs. I mean, for the teeming youth. So if you are a government that appreciates the need to create a lot of jobs, then I mean, you pay a lot of attention to culture, art, and tourism. And it's not just about paying the attention, but decentralizing it. And if you say decentralizing it, it means that you are making sure it goes to the communities. So the community owns the tourism, and through that, most of them create some job, among other things, for themselves. That was 2018 or 2017, I remember. Together with the then Minister of Tourism, Catherine Afeko, Socrates, among others, we went on a tour of the Western region, and you get to we went to this place where you sit on the village is sitting on stilt. Nzulenzu. Now, when you get there and you are being transported there, these people actually benefit from the number of people who are coming boarding there. When we got there, one of the challenges they raised was that most of the funds generated, among others, as a result of people who come there, aside the business activities, goes to there wasn't some level of decentralization. So I remember the minister then promised them that there has been some arrangement to ensure that communities benefit from their various tourism facilities, so that they can use some of these monies for maintenance, among others, for these tourist areas to grow. Okay. So if you have a tourism facility as a place and the money which is raised comes to a certain central fund and the impact is not being felt at the ground, it will create an avenue for dilapidation. So people will go there because the money will not be going there. So if we say we are decentralizing all of this, and it means that it is not just about creating the things there, but in terms of, independence of funding, internally generated funds, there should be some level of percentage for these people. So the decentralization should go in so many forms. You understand? It shouldn't just be about the creation. Okay. Because if, like tourist facilities, it's scattered everywhere. But how do we ensure that in terms of empowerment,
they're also empowered
there
equally.
is some level of... So there should be a holistic plan to ensure that some of these, parts of these countries, different communities are empowered. I think it is why we in terms of tourism, we've done well with the GTA decentralization of their offices, the districts and others. And when it comes to the culture side, we have some culture centers, but in terms of the empowerment aspect, lifting their capacity to be able to deliver their mandate, what has that been? If you go to even the national, if you listen, Head Socrates talk about, so it's like we, at times, in some of these areas, we even have the structures in terms of the decentralization. Yeah. But
they are not what kept them.
To move it is where the problem is. So
they're not even being promoted.
The commitment.
Okay, so this issue...
the politicians need to understand that when it comes to the creative art, it is a sure banker of job creation. Because the government document itself shows, if you read Ghana Poverty Reduction Strategy 1, GPR is 1, GPR is 2, it shows that the creative art has potential of helping us reduce unemployment in the country. And because, you don't need a lot of formalities. You understand? Some people have gone to school, some have not gone to school. A lot of them have the chance, regardless of your qualification, have the chance to work and create something for yourself. So we need to, as a nation, be very intentional about this. Else, the lip service will be there. Look at even invest centers. My chairman is here. They've tried to move their events around through the VGMA pre-event party, the nominees jam. Move it around. Let him tell you some of the difficulties they go through, logistical constraints, among others. So if we do not create that enabling environment, there are some private organizations who want to move things from Accra, like she was saying, but when the there is not there, it will be difficult for you to go there. So we need, as a nation, we really need intentional policies and stop paying lip service to some of these things. It will benefit us all. In the bigger picture.
The issue of decentralization has popped up several times. I think when not just with
Kumasi.
I'm building a point. I'm see my Kumasi. It's not for me. I'm from there.
No, in quotes.
Don't come.
You've been mayor. You understand?
Unofficial.
Yes.
But the issue of decentralization.
Where you go host VGMA for that?
We go do for them more. We've spoken to Robert.
Rattray Park.
But the issue of decentralization, it's really decentralization sad. Of even fun activities or activities around the year of return has popped up lots of times. One of them was I think last 2 years. I moved the campaign. I actually started a campaign to get rid of regional minister and the mayor in Kumasi, because I felt, in all fairness, I've been in Kumasi virtually all my life, and I had not seen any form of celebration, whether government initiated or private initiated, that has trickled down to Kumasi. And I felt that, this is our chance for us to get a fair share of the national pie. I believe in the economics around it. I so much believe in the economics around the entertainment part of it that, look, if you are able to get even one event happening under the year of return where it has the GTA tag slammed on it, at least it can move a certain level of economic activities in the region. And I had the opportunity of meeting the GTA boss. I think Godfather hosted him here, and I asked this question. And he also was of the belief that, he said that there are private event organizers who bring the event. So he's also saying that, if we have people who produce that, they would also offer support. That doesn't come in, physical cash, but some form of support, whether it's billboard promotion, facilitation, and all that to get your stuff through. He made his point on that level, but I'm saying that there are other things that also hinder these things, these decentralization idea. Road network, access to these tourist sites. How easily motorable are they? And how safe?
It's really sad.
How safe are they for tourists? Because you realize that there's a huge influx of people during the December, trip, but then they mostly stay in Accra.
Yeah, the road networks are bad. Recently, we saw the government large DRIP, districts improvement project, where they outdoored some caterpillars to now go to the district to, make some of the road. This is not for construction, meaning they are going to just grade the road.
Yes, see, this issue, there's also...
Even where we have the district assemblies, everywhere we have the district
there's
assemblies.
also the flip side to it, where they, I think...
holistically, we have a national problem.
No, Ebi was talking about trying to get tourists into the country, not just during the December.
So like a year round.
Yes, a year round something. Yeah, I believe, yes, it can work, but then, just let's look at the calendar and see where and how people travel. Because you realize that the west and the east, they want to stay as far away from the cold as possible.
Yeah, and at times,
Sometimes
work schedules.
In summertime, most of the people are having fun in their own country. So it's best that, we had it. Naturally, we had it by placing it in December. Naturally, we had it. That is why they move a lot. But anyway.
But you can, in a country like Dubai, everyone, every time you want to go there and have, so we can create an element like that. And I think that gradually, some private investors are creating some events which will help in that direction. Charlie Water is happening around this time, and it's not tied to December. So, we need a couple of them. VGMA, with a lot of support, it can become that kind of MICE activity where people would love to travel to come and watch. Even Ghanaians abroad would love to come and have the experience with the necessary support for them. So some of the projects are there, but how to empower them to be able to generate that sort of attraction is where the problem is.
Well, I have the whole team in the building. My brother Kwame Dazi is here. Mr. Robert Clyde is also here. Abe Ghana Dance Festival for Martin. Still nobody dare me or nobody.
It will happen.
Nobody if you dare me.
Then go dare you.
Nobody.
Go do them.
Because as I break dance for, I go the Olympics, go do break dance, and you people don't see me for TV talk. Then cut my signal.
What, you were after the Australian?
Yeah, Charlie, the way they threw the lady here. She vexed him. Robert, how are you doing?
Charlie, I'm good.
Great. We are decentralizing tourism, arts, and culture. Is it something that can be possible?
Okay, so I've gotten to this point where when I hear the bits and pieces of ideas being thrown, I keep asking myself whether we are saying that we don't have the wherewithal to be able to develop a comprehensive plan for the industry or for the sector. You understand? Because it's like you're just scratching the surface. Like I saw Kwame Dazi posted something yesterday on his social about NPP's plan or manifesto, the elements. And again, scratching the surface. Like there are hardcore things that are supposed to be dealt with at the base, at the roots. And it's supposed to be comprehensive Something, maybe probably something out of the hands of politicians.
TPS.
You understand what I'm saying? Like a national planning agenda. It's there. These are the problems. These are the solutions. So we are clear.
Okay.
You can use any of the business principles we learned, and then you ask yourself, where are we now? You evaluate all the facets or all the components of the creative economy. How are we faring with respect to education? How are we faring with respect to technology? How are we faring with respect to the creatives themselves in terms of the artists? What level are they at? Or what's happening with respect to the production element, distribution, what's happening in that space, marketing, what's happening in that space, consumption and consumption platforms, or protection of this particular space from infiltration coming from the foreign world, policies. Like, you can do a complete systems audit to evaluate where we are at. Then you are clear on, okay, so this is a situation, where are we going to benchmark? What can we learn from elsewhere? What are the best practices available? What's the vision? How do we want to carry our people? What do we expect to achieve? What does success look like? So you get into it and you plan. And then you now put in strategies to be able to close that particular gap. So we know that this is what we are doing. If you do X, if you do Y, if you do Z, it's going to send us to a specific place, and you work at it. And then you ensure that, okay, at the end of the day, how do we ensure that these things, we arrive at the destination we are looking for? So you put in the controls and the measures. I think that I feel a bit some way when people are just scratching the surface, people are just scratching, and I feel it feels almost like we're just being incompetent around the issue.
So with
the ideas are okay, but it can be better. So I don't know. Like,
okay, so with respect to decentralization, like I asked earlier on, is this something that is possible? Because we realize that, data proves that the footpath, the foot traction in Ghana during these festive seasons, most of them don't even visit the tourist site. Most of them don't.
Okay, when you say decentralization, again, you see, everything has to be strategy-led or insight-led.
Okay.
You're decentralizing towards what goal? What informs the decentralization? Have you found out that there are so many people who want to go to certain places and they're not going? Is there a market for it? If there is no market, are you willing to pump in the money to create the market? Are you willing to put in the roads and the structure? Like, do you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I there is nothing like a bad idea if at the end of the day you have reasons to support it. So I won't. It's difficult for me to just listen to strategy on the surface level. I need a little bit of insight.
Insight before.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you may be right, but it's just that at the
information
end of the day,
is not complete.
Okay. So when these things happen and it feels a bit like we are scratching with the surface and all of that, yeah, okay, decentralize. Where are the roads? Yeah, you want me to go to a particular place? Yeah, where are the roads? And okay, how many people are in Greater Accra region? Almost 6 million. How many people are in Ashanti region? Almost 6 million. These are the two most populous, regions in this country. So with respect to tourism, which of these areas are you going to be looking into? And if you want to go into the other areas, like, all I'm saying is there has to be a reason. Like, there's science, there's data, there's information,
that needs to back
insight that's supposed to back the things. And we need to come to the point where everything we have done in school comes to play within our world of work. Let us know what is informing, because sometimes I hear, and we'll do this, what is your basis for saying you will do something? You understand what I'm saying? How do we even know that it's a judicious use of the taxpayers' money? You understand what I'm saying? So something has to inform something. And when we, every day we hear this and that, gets to a point where you're just asking yourself, are we just dancing around the stuff, or we are we are like literally getting into the space to understand? Because you see, look, for 4 years now, both parties knew they were going to be given a manifesto in this particular space. What research was conducted to achieve what we are to inform the manifesto's point of view? Do you know what I'm saying? You've always known that you are going to be vying for this. Every day are we going to just sit down and hear an idea? Let's hear something that is firmly rooted on research or like information gathered from here, or you benchmark a particular country that has similar characteristics, and then you discover that if we did this, it's going to have a ripple effect that in the next 5 years we are going to produce. Do you get what I'm saying? Impacting the, like, how are you taking care of the pipeline, the younger ones coming? What is the plan? How are they learning? How are they working into the space? How can they confidently say, I am an artist and I earn not less than $5,000 every month? Or, that kind of stuff. What structures are we putting? Those are the things that I think we need to be able to ask them to bring to the fore for the conversations. But otherwise, the things we're discussing, it feels almost like, Charlie. It may be a nice idea, but I think that we've gotten to the point that we deserve a comprehensive plan.
Yeah.
That's
something far more detailed than this.
Comprehensive. Yes. And even if it's independent of the politicians and it's in the hands of the technocrats, even better.
Okay. Kwame Dazi,
DJ Slim.
You had Ebi Bright on your show. Yeah. And Showbiz A to Z airs on Joy FM every Saturday from 2 to 6 p.m. Make sure you guys tune in and also listen to it. But then, what was the conversation like? What led to this?
I asked Ebi how she thinks the industry can be developed. And then she was sharing her opinion on what she thinks we can have a holistic improvement of this industry. And talking about decentralization, we've had this conversation a number of times here, talking about how we can also get into the various regions and let them have a fair share of what is tourism, art, and culture. There is no doubt the world over, every administrative capital of every country would have the most vibrant economy in terms of everything. So we can't take that away from the fact that Accra is having all these experiences. But are we also thinking about the various areas aside from Accra that need tourism, art, and culture, as in events, policies, and everything? I believe that. Demographics of the various regions is very, very important. When the year of return activities take place and we say, why don't we send some of the events to the various regions? One thing that most people talk about is, are you sure the people in this particular area are going to like this content, this concept? Are they going to patronize this event? For example, if you do a jazz event in Ghana, in Accra, you are likely to have more people attend than you take it to my hometown in Koforidua. If you do a jazz event in Accra, because of the demography of Accra, that's quite different from Koforidua. If you want to do, let's say, a fashion event, how you approach a fashion event in Accra will be different from Koforidua. Maybe when you go to a village in Koforidua, you want to do a fashion event, you might come down to the ordinary seamstress or tailor and do something that fits their terrain. For example, Adom TV has a show called Adepam. Adepam is a fashion-oriented event, but it targets a particular kind of people that are not in the league of Elikem Kumojis and Abrantier and all that. So I think that it's possible. It's possible to... I think it's feasible. Let me not use it's possible.
It's political now.
I think it's feasible to decentralize tourism, art, and culture. Go to the various regions and improve upon their creative economy.
But
However,
let me ask you.
Yeah.
So, are you saying that these things are non-existent in these other regions already?
I wouldn't say
that is one, and then
I wouldn't say.
And then two. Are we saying that government should be? I'm coming. Are we saying that government should be responsible for all of these things, or government should enable? Because when you evaluate the year of return, the activities that happen,
it's not solely a government responsibility,
or it's the private sector led. So if it's private sector,
Robert, I'm coming there. Yeah, there are a few government initiatives that can trickle down to the base. For example, a taste of
Ghana,
right?
Afro Nation, Afrochella.
Taste of Ghana is organized by the government.
Is it government?
And
but government empowered them.
JIPC.
Government empowered them.
Taste of Ghana.
Supports.
No, government. Yes, government supported them.
But it's not Ghana.
I think
government owned.
the first event government supported with $5 million. I'm lying. Maybe $5 million.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Governments was in partnership with Afro Nation.
Yeah.
It was a partnership, but I don't know how that. Okay, but
and also proud partners of Afrochella.
Okay. Yes.
Or Afro Future, as it is now.
Okay. So I am saying that there are events that government can actually lead and make sure that it trickles down to the base, to the other regions. Taste of Ghana can be sent around the various regions because government has the muscle, the financial muscle to do that. But if you ask an individual who is investing into events in this country to take their event, let's say TGMA, go and host TGMA 2025 in Cape Coast, in Tamale,
Sunyani.
Mr. Yola and Robert and his people will sit down and do some analysis and say, 1 + 1. Let's maintain the nominees jam like that.
Please come to Sweden.
We'll go and do industry mixer there.
But if you ask an event organizer to go organize, let's say, an event that involves people who make shoes, people who make dresses,
Sapo.
people who make sapo, other things in the creative art industry that are dominant in a certain area, that person might have that courage to go there, get the money and the support to go there. So I am saying that it's a bit challenging because the event organizer, the person who is curating that art content, is doing that for money. It is not charity work. So if it's government that is doing that and they have funding, that's okay because they know that they are helping grow the industry in that area. But an individual doing this might need support from somebody, whether corporate Ghana or the government itself. And I'm saying this, if it is something that is on the heart of government, then the best government can do for people who are trying to curate arts, tourism, culture, content for the various neglected regions is to incentivize them. So that if Robert stands up today or wakes up today and says that I want to go to Asesewa in the eastern region to go and organize a dance program, Robert's, apart from the fact that he's also scared of losing out and incurring a big debt, if he hears Ministry of Tourism, Art and Culture say, oh, what you're doing is a good cause, so we can support you.
Let's do it nationwide.
Let's do it.
Even
exactly.
now, let's do it nationwide.
Exactly.
Let's do Ghana Music Awards
nationwide. Let's do.
Then the ordinary dancer in Asesewa who has been dancing a particular dance that you may not have seen even in Accra before will be exposed to the world.
Given the platform.
By so doing, you are developing more talents, growing the creative economy in all areas of the country. So I believe that it's a good idea, but just as Robert and Edem have said, it's not just about the ideas and how well detailed they are, but the action. Most times, people will fashion out policies and documents, and ideas will be sitting in documents without them being implemented. I think if we have the willpower to, walk the talk, we will get there. But it appears most times it's all about the writing. People have great ideas,
Charlie,
but how are they being implemented?
Not to cut Kwame Dazi, the cultural policy, 2004. The things that are inside that particular document.
We know.
Charlie?
Massa. So sometimes you're
and a new one is being done.
And then you're asking yourself, 20 years
years
of its existence. Yeah, Charlie.
And great minds sat.
You understand what I'm saying?
That
So sometimes when we get to a particular point, the English is too much. We just need people who are able to pick the stuff and give it legs, give the ideas oxygen so it can breathe, resurrect them, take them out from the books and give them life. That's where, Charlie, that's the mandate we are giving them anyway. For them to.
So
be
I'm
able to
challenging the
exercise
Ministry of Tourism,
political
Art and Culture, GIPC, to take Taste of Ghana to a different region this December.
Or they should what? Just
Or is it in January or December?
like organize it.
That event is in January. The Taste
It's
of
December.
It's December.
So, so the main reason for taking that event outside Accra would be to also get attention to other parts of the country, right? That would be
exactly.
and boost the economy around
exactly.
that.
So there's always a need for certain economies to be stimulated.
Yes.
You understand? And where the individual is not there to do that, the government has to find a way to be able to engineer that thing. So if you look into the space of, let's say, Koforidua, and you discover that they have a particular thing that has economic value, but the private people have not probably found the opportunity, or they don't understand the space or whatsoever, you have to step into the space and engineer it and kick the economic activity going. Like, you need to engineer a self-sustaining economy. You know, so if it happens and private sector even finds that I can make profit in this
Out of
particular,
something like that.
yes, then you enable them. The businesses are in the space. Then you also attract other professionals, like the professionals who work in the banking sector, who are marketers. Attract them into that particular space and let them bring the wherewithal, to bear. So that that particular economy can, begin to work itself out. And eventually then you have a thriving economy that is self-sustaining. Even if you have limited or no government inputs. Then you just focus on your policies and then activities.
No, with Robert's point, I think it's very clear. I'm thinking maybe you stressed on a taste of Ghana.
No, I just use that as an example.
Yeah, as an
because
example.
When he says taste of Ghana, he's dealing with food.
Yeah.
He's dealing with tourism.
Music.
He's dealing with music. Like there are so many the elements that makes you experience Ghana. You understand?
Okay,
So that's what he's looking
because
for.
there's an event called Taste of Ghana, right?
Yes.
It's government.
It's
it's-
by GIPC.
Okay, so I was also I'm okay. I'm coming from the background where I believe if we need to strike, we need to strike and strike big.
Okay.
And I'm thinking of some of the events that drive a lot of international attention to Ghana and also drives a lot of patronage from different countries. We can't underestimate the influence of some of these moving festivals and the impact that they had on the country when it comes to the year of return and beyond the return, i.e. the Afro Nation, of which as it stands now, we don't really know the state of it, and Afro Future. Yes. These events had some wild international appeal.
Exactly.
And I believe if you're to think around explosion for other regions economically, we need to be considering some of these events that hold that level of water.
But as I said earlier on, we need to consider the demographics of the various regions.
Exactly. Then that was
there
what
are
I was.
some event that will work in Accra, but
Exactly.
would not
So-
work in other regions because of demography.
Exactly. So there's a message in here from Tilly, and
Great.
Tilly is talking about venues, and
Very important.
That also will come into play.
Very,
because
very important.
If you're also thinking of explosion or economic, boost for stimulus for other regions, you would need to also look at venues that
That's
will
what
be
we're
able.
talking about.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
making an example with Kumasi.
But because baby for TGM, we will get some place
so
for Ghana
Jabremu.
Dance Festival.
Jabremu.
The infrastructure has to be, but even beyond that, sometimes you even need the logistics.
Yeah.
Look, you're looking for
Yeah,
a
some of
particular,
them.
you're looking for stage sound lights, you're looking for
Yeah.
the technicians who are supposed to work, and if they are all based here, then you literally have to get
transport
these,
them.
and then
Yeah,
transport
because maybe
everybody
the-
and everything there.
Yeah.
You understand?
The market
And when
is
you-
not there.
If you have the resources the financial power to transport them, that's
That's
okay.
it. And it comes at a huge
because we're
cost.
here where
And then when
Global
they get there,
Citizen,
then
they brought
their
equipment
stuff
from
because so why did they bring it? It means
From
they couldn't get certain
Amanoni.
things that they wanted.
So
You
it's
understand?
possible.
So it comes at
It's
it comes
feasible.
at some serious cost.
Yeah, so take like this. He was organizing like a December kind of show.
Who?
Take
Okay.
at one of his restaurants on the
Bunsu.
Bunsu.
Okay.
That's Ginex.
Yeah, he had to send all the logistics from Accra, sound, stage, everything,
course.
and it has to be there for some couple of months, days. I mean, throughout
Add
December.
accommodation.
Yeah,
Yes,
all
add-
these people. Then transportation back.
Yeah.
Charlie, it's not easy.
So when you're there, the fuel prices are up. When you're there, you know how expensive
Hotel,
hotels
yeah,
are.
Charlie.
Crazy. They are like mighty crazy.
You know, some of this conversation when it happens and people are saying, "Oh, you have to send sound men, you have to send technicians and all that." People are like, "Oh, but you have some here that be to wasi." There are levels. There are levels to it.
Yeah, levels.
Yeah, and I can
Depending
give you,
on the kind of
yeah,
quality
and I
you
can
want.
give you a typical example of what happened to Black Sherry's performance at UMAT. Right, I had a conversation with people on the grounds, and they were telling me that at a certain point, the stage had even been
Caved in,
no, it did not cave in, but it got to a point where it was a good conductor of electricity as well because it was made of metal. So it
electrocuting
started shocking the stage itself because somebody passed some cable somewhere and then it had direct contact with the stage and all that. So having people with the technological even know how to even
Very, very important.
Charlie, is also a factor, and every region, as much as there's a quest to get the whole nation involved in tourism, arts and culture, region by region, there should also be a local policy to have some of these people being trained and all that. Because if we want to avoid the cost of transporting huge equipments and all that, I think we can have regional based. We have regional ministers. I mean, they can also have policies to ensure that they have people who know these things. Because for Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, you can't tell me that, Charlie, we can't have people from that size. And it's not even just KNUST. We have KSTU. We have other universities over there. We have other professional institutions over there that should be of benefit. They should know how to set up these things.
You know what's funny? Anytime you talk about the creative economy, you don't talk about these folks.
We don't.
That is why I always keep highlighting that the business aspect that runs the engine of the creative economy, we should never neglect it when we're having a conversation. You see, because whenever you discuss creative economy right now, they'll go and bring the artists,
the people at the forefront.
Okay, now we say organize an event, which is supposed. Then you are looking.
Now you're falling on
graphic designers.
You are falling on the people.
We all work
the
together,
real
so you
people
need to factor these people in. Those who are controlling the screens, those who are setting up. All of these guys are part. They play a role. They are within the business sector of the creative economy.
Okay, so
when the conversations that do not include these folks, it's not holistic. It feels like we're just scratching the surface.
I think Robert has a point, but Robert, do they also consider themselves to be a part of it?
Are they oriented to even know? Because they've been schooled here. Who schooled them? Who created the schools?
I think the education is now going down well. Because
who created the schools? Yeah. Who is schooling them? Who are the educators? Who educated the educators? What manual are the educators holding? What's the orientation?
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, that it's a holistic thing we need to be able to look at. Not like,
not just bits and pieces.
Oh, Debbie.
That's our team. Anyway. We will get it all wrong.
My God.
We will get them wrong.
But you guys know, when you go to the various regions and communities, we have event organizers, up and coming ones who are doing
local
things in their own small ways.
Yeah. And they need to be applauded.
Yes.
And they need to be enabled.
Incentivized.
Exactly. They need to be enabled.
And
we should recognize them as key players within the industry.
Yeah. You see, when you go there, you even realize that when you get into the picture, you realize that the kind of partnership some government organization give to events in Accra, that place is even zero. Some of the like DCs, MCs, and one coordinators do not even understand the essence of entertainment, and they are far away from the event.
They think it's amusement.
If you go, you have been in those communities.
So let me.
How has the collaboration been?
No. So let me share. So let me share. Let me share this with you, and then I think the last time I talked about this issue, the KMA boss.
Yeah.
Actually called my godfather that he wanted to have a conversation with me. He wanted it to be live on TV as I said it, and I'll repeat it here. I said it in Kumasi. They no listen. I can't see him for a crowd here.
They listen.
Then listen.
So you see him for here again.
I will see him. Oh wow.
So it means like the Daybreak Hitz platform gets results. And they can say.
So this happened, right? Ghana played Nigeria in the first leg qualifiers for the World Cup, and it was supposed to be one big game. Yeah. Everybody, all international media, everybody was focused on that game because, in fact, if you are able to come on top in the first leg, definitely you have higher chances of qualifying for the World Cup. ESPN, every media outlet can Kumasi. This is the golden age of Kumerica, right? A chance for us to exhibit something that has already caught international attention. Because myself, Vice UK, this other complex and all that, they reached out. They wanted to see the story behind these boys and the movement, how it has affected the region and all that. I shot like 2 or 3 documentaries for international media. Fast forward, regional minister comes to my radio station, sat with me, say, "Oh, Charlie, they can't promote the match." I say, "Okay, good idea. The platform is for you for free. We are not going to take anything. All that we are asking in return is like me based on a youth radio station and knowing the potential that this has, right? This Kumerica thing and people making money out of the merch that they are producing and all that. Can we get like a 5 minutes halftime break where you don't even have to pay for the artists, right? We are going to gather the artists, bring them there, let them perform, spread the Kumerica vibe because they are in Kumasi. We want to own that space.
You want to let them experience Kumasi.
Bozu, if it be today, the KMA boss will pick my call. I don't know. He can't share tickets for them. Then no part and one on the
up to date.
To date,
You've been calling him.
Oh.
Some of the assemblies,
See,
He's on speed dial.
when it comes to entertainment, they forget.
we all make a mention.
I think we also
His name
part
is
of-
Sampine. His name is Sampine.
Sampine.
Yes, he's the KMA boss, Kumasi. Till
You
date,
don't understand
exactly,
Yeah, Charlie.
exactly. Because I know
but we
people.
are part of it
You
because
know,
we've
I know
limited
people.
everything to music, film.
I know
That's
people
all.
that made
And they know
so-
the whole-
yo. People made some huge amount of money from even the Kumerica flag alone.
Yeah.
You know, putting it on T-shirts, putting it on mugs and caps and all that. People made some decent amount of money. So why can't we extend it a little bit? But anyway, you will go talk about time on the flip side. Thank you, Robert.
It's entertainment department.
They don't
in the
understand it.
ministries.
They don't
department.
understand.
No, you see, that's the problem. It's because we call it entertainment.
No, I mean,
No,
there's nothing wrong with entertainment.
No,
It's a business.
No, I get you. But what
Entertainment
I'm saying,
is business.
I get you. But when
What
you
is wrong with it?
listen to what I'm saying,
okay, but
it's a business.
I'm not saying it's not a
The
business.
minds of the ordinary people.
When you say entertainment, say,
I think it's
American
recreation.
entertainment is
It's-
big.
I get you. But what I'm saying is that listen to
you
what
are
I'm
right.
saying.
But our
Listen to what
people
I'm saying.
don't see
When
like
you say
that.
entertainment, I say
Oikoji
you are stopping the
when
serious
we-
stuff.
uh-huh.
You are just
Yeah,
going to
Oikoji
chill with
Nyaba.
you. I'm
Yeah,
back.
Oikoji
Eh-heh.
Nyaba.
But let's use the word showbiz.
Like
the business
somebody is saying
aspect
something
of
that
the,
doesn't make sense. Somebody
of the
says
show.
you are behaving like a joker. Like a comedian.
Like a
Sorry,
comedian.
not a joker. Like a
Yeah.
comedian.
Somebody's
Comedy is
job.
a serious business. What do you want now to mean your comedy?
Million
At all. If you're
dollar.
not intelligent, you can't do that.
Anyway, thank you, Robert. Thank you, Adam.
Yes, you are there.
The whole space, Salem, for do some proper conversation.
Thank you, Kwame Dazi, for joining us this morning. I appreciate this so much. And on behalf of the production team here, Mr. Hagler, Flying, my boy, Nana Kwame Labi, man like Paul Fidelis, and my top-notch DJ Bredash, we say thank you for
This is Hits.